afternoon, and welcome to our World Hour of Power here with Lady Paulie and my co host, Mr. Glenn Greenwich, the Honorable Mayor of Southern Boulevard, my partner in crime.
Welcome, welcome, welcome for another show.
Another
All right.
show, yeah. Do you want to introduce your two guests?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah,
We
you
I
do.
wanna I wanna introduce these two great gentlemen who are providing culture and entertainment to our community, Mr. Leonard Jacobs and Courtney French. Um, Leonard Leonard Jacobs is the executive director, and Courtney French is the artistic director. They're interim positions, but I am clear that they're on their way to making it happen and becoming the director and artistic director. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to our world, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
glad to
you.
Thank you
have
for
Thank you
you.
for
having me.
having me.
Now, one of my first questions I want to ask you is how long have both of you been with the Jamaica Center?
You want to go? You want to go first,
That's
Courtney? You have seniority on me.
Well, okay. So, yeah. Well, I've been there for 11 years. This is my 11th year at JCAL, JPAC. And it's been one of the most exciting periods of my life. I'm looking forward looking forward to more growth. And yeah, 11 years.
wow, that's great. Now, is this your true love, your true passion?
Sort of, in a way. It's kind of like bumping into your your dream partner on the beach, and you weren't looking for it particularly, but it just so happens to be that way.
Uh huh.
And now that I'm here, it feels as natural as my skin. So yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Leonard? Is this
I've been
is
with I've been associated with JCal for about 2 years, and then prior to being part of the organization, I was very involved in it when I was working for the city of New York. I worked for the city's Department of Cultural Affairs on a public-private partnership that involves JCal, and the organization was in my portfolio. I just want to point out, Courtney has this gorgeous way of weaving metaphors. I'm not going to even attempt that because he'll weave these wonderful metaphors, and I'll think to myself, is he going to get himself out of that? And then he always does. If I do it, you'll find me in a sand trap or under a rock. So, yeah, I defer to Courtney on all matters metaphor.
oh wow, okay. That's
So,
awesome.
so, so, would you tell our listeners exactly where the two locations are so they know how to get there?
Yeah, the JCal began in 1972 as the Jamaica Arts Center. It's at 16104 Jamaica Avenue, and 2 blocks away I'm going to script the address, 2 blocks west, diagonally across from Rufus King Park, is the Jamaica Performing Arts Center. 153-10, Courtney? I always screw that one up.
Right. 153-10 Jamaica Avenue. And that was formerly the first Dutch Reformed church, built in 1876 and so on. So it may look like a church, and most people have seen it without knowing exactly what it is. But if you're passing the Social Security building going west, the next building is the Jamaica Performing Arts Center.
Wow. That's an awesome place. I've been to both facilities and have seen great shows, and it's just awesome. But as Glenn had said, there's a lot of people still are unaware of what you all offer the community. So could you tell us some of um, the things that you offer the community as far as activities and so forth? Courtney or Leonard, whichever one wants to start.
I can kick it off if you want.
Okay. Okay.
Our mission is to provide arts programming and arts engagement to the community. So music, dance, theater, visual arts, literary, and so forth and so on. During the pandemic, of course, we haven't been able to provide all of the programs that we had before. But what Courtney and I have done in the last 9 months is made the digital pivot that every other arts organization is making. Plus, we've added a lot of programs. So we have 2 different music series that Courtney will talk about. One is our Thursday night jazz series, and the other is called Rhythm Section, which I think is amazing, and really proud to be producing it with him. We are just today and yesterday mounting our first film festival. It's a 10-minute film festival. We had a lot of people last night, and we'll have more people tonight, hopefully, on our YouTube. We have a script development program called Meet the Playwright. We have a triennial site-specific art project called Jamaica Flux, which will take place all over the community, specifically on Jamaica Avenue. And another program I'll mention very quickly is our annual Making Moves Dance Festival, which will turn 12 this year. And it will be both in person on the lawn of the Jamaica Performing Arts Center in September, as well as virtually. And so I'll stop there. We've got more programs than that, but I'll stop there. Let Courtney jump in.
Yeah, that sounds great. Now, what programs have, what I should say, what programs would you like to bring to the community that you haven't brought already?
Well, the plan is to restart our classes. We're very well known for our Saturday classes, primarily for children. Typically on a Saturday, we would have 100 to 200 kids in the at the Jamaica Art, what formerly known as the Jamaica Art Center. We haven't been able to do that, obviously, because of the pandemic. But the hope and the plan is that starting in the summer, we'll start having some in-person classes for kids as well as adults. It'll be fewer people, socially distanced, and so forth. But the plan is to start to bring that back. Education has always been one of the major tentpoles of what JCAL does. We've done a lot of work online, pop-up classes and serving schools and senior centers in the community virtually. But the hope is that starting in July, we're going to bring back in person along with it.
Okay, that's great. Now,
Another,
go ahead, Courtney.
I was thinking that there is, I mean, I mentioned to Leonard before that theater has never been a big thing at JPAC. In other words, we don't get a lot of theater. And so we're making steps to sort of reach the theater community to talk to sort of bring in serious actors and directors to produce theatrical, a theatrical series of sorts. And I think of all the things that I haven't seen or the things that I want to bring into JPAC is absolutely more theater, like 75% more theater. So that is something that I think we're going to see within the next year or so. Looking forward to that.
Okay.
Could I
Courtney.
tee Courtney up to talk about Meet the Playwright? Because I think it's a great program that we just started, and it's going to have another performance this coming week. So I hope you don't mind my teeing up that for you, but I'm doing shameless promotion on behalf of our script development series here.
Okay. So,
Well, sorry.
Go ahead, Courtney.
No, I'm sorry. I was about to say, well, in this world, there's no shame in promotion. Promotion is everything, right? So Meet the Playwright is primarily, I had an idea a few years back, and the title was going to be The Pitch, right? The pitch night where people would gather around the theater at JPAC. We would have a kind of thing where they would come up, groups would come up one by one, and they would sort of pitch their ideas about a play or some sort of production. And that idea felt good. And then, of course, COVID had other plans. So what was born out of that kind of that obstruction was this Meet the Playwright, which is where you get to have playwrights come on a program, talk about their work, show their vision for whatever it is that they want to produce, and then show us a sort of a skit, a digital skit of what that play would look like. And so far, it has been absolutely amazing. I'm really thrilled that it's happening this way. Not thrilled for COVID, but thrilled that we're able to do that, to offer this to the community where they come in and pitch ideas. Like anywhere else, you pitch it to the board and we say, yes, no, maybe, I don't know. But I think it's something that the community needs, where they have somewhere to go. And like we talked about earlier before, JPAC being a place that belongs to this community, where they now can walk in and say, hey, here is my idea. This is what I have. And then we say, well, show it. And then they show it. And then we somehow find the money to produce it. And I think that's a wonderful start, and something we're very, very excited to have.
The playwrights, the directors, the actors, they're all from Queens.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's wonderful.
Really important to make. They're all original plays. They're all Queens-based playwrights, directors, actors. Anyone that's involved in the shooting of the scene, they're all local, and that's really important. One of the things that Courtney and I established really on day one is that it has to be digital first right now because of COVID, but it's community first always, and we're really committed to that in every program that we run.
You know, I think a little known fact, you guys actually have two theaters. You have one at the JCAL building, and then you also have one at the JPAC. Let us know a little bit about the two theaters and what's available, seating and so forth, please.
Well, I can start with JPAC. JPAC is a 400-seat proscenium theater. It has, well, I'll say state of the art in so much as what you described, state of the art sound systems. It has capability of about 200 lighting fixtures that can create just beautiful magic shows and so on. We can handle bands, plays, dances, parties. The theater itself can be converted from a seating for 400 to a buffet kind of a setting where it seats 200 persons and so on. Of course, we're not doing that now because that's not the time for that. But the theater itself it's wonderful. It actually, without seats at all, it can fit up to 300 persons standing, at a party or something like that, some sort of event. And it's used in a variety of ways, whether it's a talk, it's a trade show, an art show, dancing is, of course, theater, promotion, all of that. And then you have the theater at the 99-seat theater. Well, actually, it's 95. It's 95. It's listed as 99, but it's a 95-seat theater, black box, again, with state-of-the-art lighting and sound. It has an area in the back for it's a handicap lift for people who, so you need accessibility to both spaces, and both have handicap lifts and so on. It's a beautiful space. It's very intimate. The stage at the 99-seat theater is about 15 by 15, so it's not big, but it does the job for small productions and so on. It's something that I would encourage people to come and look at. You can walk in. You can come at any time during the week between 10 and 5 or so, or make an appointment. And I personally, you get to talk to me directly. I will take you around to each space because it's really important to me that you get the full treatment, the full tour of all that we have to offer. So.
Okay. Sounds good. We got to take a break right now, and we'll be back.
We'll be right back. But first, are you a small business owner looking for solutions? TMI and Partners is a business solution company offering operational, branding, and financial solution. For only $9.99 a month, your company will be assigned a personal business advisor. Well, that's right, only $9.99 per month, no contract, and you're on your way. Call TMI at 347-234-5304. That's 347-234-5304. Or visit their website at tmium.com. Tomorrow, the world will know your business. Is that it, guys? Hello? Did I do good?
Hi, this is attorney Stephen G. James. We've been practicing law at this law firm for over 30 years. I'm a former assistant prosecutor in Kings County and currently a defense attorney to serve you better. We work harder to serve you better. So just call us for the lawyers you can trust. 646-905-9000. 646-905-7001. We're located on Sutphin Boulevard, right near Hillside here in Jamaica, Queens, New York. For over 30 years serving the community. The law firm of Stephen G. James. Thank you.
You made your house a reality. homeschooling yourself on loans, color-coding listings, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. If you can ace house hunting, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to load their minds. Dare to explore. Dare to STEM. Learn more at She Can STEM.
COVID-19 has hit our community real hard.
We're dying from coronavirus at almost double the national rate.
If we come together, we have the power to save what matters to us, our Black lives.
There's power in protecting your loved ones.
There's power in wearing a mask and social distancing.
There's power in knowing the facts and using your voice.
Let's fight COVID-19. Visit bethepowerofus.org.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night too. Did you have a clue?
No, but you know, teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
Well, back to our conversation. Gentlemen, I would like to find out in the near future when everything gets back together, normal or semi-normal, will you be able to have like live shows with different groups, like you say, the OJs come out, the Spinners, because that's something that's lacking, besides, they come out at the casino, but we need other venues that, will get this type of entertainment back out there. The different groups from the 60s, 70s, 80s, even up to today, a lot of people have mentioned to me they would like to see live shows like that. Is that possible?
It is possible. We are going to be doing two different things. We're going to have a summer of outdoor programming in two different spaces. I'm going to let Courtney talk about that. We also have now been given permission by the state. We're considered a small venue, and we can have up to 33% capacity indoors. There's some rules around that, like masks, but we're going to start to do that within this month, and we're excited about that. Will it be a full house? Will it be, gathering together for a concert the way we all sort of understood that to be? No, not quite yet. So maybe the semi-normal that you were talking about. But we can do it. And because the state is letting venues like ours start to put people back into an indoor setting, we're going to try it and do it safely.
Okay, that's good to hear. Glenn?
Well, Courtney, were you going to add something to that?
Yes, I think one of the things that we recognized earlier on is that during the pandemic, we're all inside, right? And for the most part, people were not comfortable being in enclosed areas. So we have been thinking and working towards creating opportunities outside our theater. So to that end, we have invested in putting up a semi-permanent stage right outside of JPAC on the front, on the lawn, a good sized stage. And with that, we're going to be able to hold our annual Downtown Jazz Festival. This year's featured artist is going to be Ravi Coltrane, son of John Coltrane. And, it's going to be, you're going to have a series of events. And not only that, but we also have the Children's Festival in June. We have the Queensboro Dance Festival in July. And then we have our Making Move Dance Festival in September. All of these things are going to be on the stage outdoors. On top of that, every day I walk between JPAC and JCAL, and in my stroll, in my mission, my walk, I've often crossed the Parsons. I have to pass Parsons Boulevard, and right on Parsons there is a pedestrian plaza that's just sitting there. It's just sitting there, and I'm thinking to myself, well, it would be nice to activate that space. You know, the businesses that are along that corridor there are, I mean, for it has been a struggle for them, as it has been a struggle for a lot of businesses in the area, whether it's on Sutphin, Parsons, Hillside, Jamaica. All businesses are going through something.
Yeah.
So our thought is to activate that space, start at least with that particular space. And so we have moved with a few partners to create a program called Jamaica Mic Drop, which is a series, a last Friday of the month series that usually presents either spoken word, singers, music, that sort of a thing, but something public and something that sort of helps everyone to sort of recognize the positiveness of coming out of a pandemic, or almost coming out, or reaching out in some way, shape, or form, a kind of a rebirth, so to speak. And those are the two places that you can look forward to seeing things outdoors for the next 5 months or so.
That's awesome.
You've got a great space at JCAL when you come in and you go to the right, and you've got this lovely African art work that's just the mask and the oh my goodness, and that space is probably open enough to maybe able to do some things as well, I would imagine, but it's just a lovely space.
Yeah, that's our community gallery. What we did with that exhibit actually is we have moved it and put it in a number of different publicly accessible spaces in the building, because we wanted to open up the community gallery a little bit so that incoming artists and artist groups, we've been doing a lot of partnerships with organizations like the Southeast Queens Artist Alliance and the South Asian Women's Creative Collective. We've just had a bunch of shows of theirs in our main gallery, in the Miller Gallery, which is what you encounter when you go to the left when you walk into JCAL. Now we're about to have some shows where we utilize the community gallery on the right in full and the Miller Gallery on the left. We have a lot of square footage, and we want to make it available to artists that we either present or that we partner with.
Okay. Now, what is the price range? Because I remember I sent my youngest son to do art years ago, and he enjoyed it so much. I mean, he's a grown man now, he's in his 30s. But do you still have programs like that available?
When we reopen for in-person classes, we will. It's always been part of the mission to make it affordable. And in fact, what we do is a lot of fundraising to ensure that tuition for students is free as much as possible. So that's why we encourage people to give.
Okay, that's very important because people need to know, is it free, or what's the price range and so forth.
I can tell you the board and the staff and our mission are all aligned in the sense that all of the programs, whether it's performances or art exhibits or classes, they should all be affordable and accessible to the community. So whenever we can, we make things free. If we need to charge something, it's got to be something reasonable. We have a pretty good sense of what the market will bear, and we like to come in well under that, because what we want is to engage the community and bring people in the doors. If we can't bring people in the doors right now to a certain extent, then we want to engage them online, which is why we've created all of these new programs in addition to the existing programs, put them on YouTube, put them on our Facebook, distributed them through all of our channels and made them free or publicly accessible. And we promote them that way. It's really important to us.
Well, one of the things that I want to make sure I do is invite you all to the Southern Boulevard Harvest Festival in September. We think that we're going to have an opportunity to do that this year. We didn't do it last year. Last year would have been our 4th year, and so we really want you guys to come out and be part of our outdoor street festivals, and really display your artists. I think that that would be something that the community would enjoy doing and experiencing.
And also, I would love for you to, for some of your artists to come on our show. So, you know, always reach out to me or Glenn because, we always want to inspire other people to, for good music, culture, dance, whatever.
Well, you may have just hit the jackpot because our Jamaica Flux program has, I think it's 14 artists, Courtney, I think 14?
Actually, 15.
15, I'm sorry. I knocked somebody out unintentionally. So we've got a ton of artists that we'd be happy to give some publicity to on your show. It's a very kind offer. Thank you.
Oh, that will be wonderful because I love those type of shows. My original background is in show business and music and so forth. So I just love to see the talent, and to expose the talent, Yes.
It's very important. Joey, are we going to take a station break?
Yeah.
Pay some bills?
We'll be right back. But first, are you a small business owner looking for solutions? TMI and Partners is a business solution company offering operational, branding, and financial solution. For only $9.99 a month, your company will be assigned a personal business advisor. Well, that's right, only $9.99 per month, no contract, and you're on your way. Call TMI at 347-234-5304. That's 347-234-5304. Or visit their website at tmium.com. Tomorrow, the world will know your business. Is that it, guys? Hello? Did I do good?
Hi, this is attorney Stephen G. James. We've been practicing law at this law firm for over 30 years. I'm a former assistant prosecutor in Kings County and currently a defense attorney to serve you better. We work harder to serve you better. So just call us for the lawyers you can trust. 646-905-9000. 646-905-7001. We're located on Sutphin Boulevard, right near Hillside here in Jamaica, Queens, New York. For over 30 years serving the community. The law firm of Stephen G. James. Thank you.
You made your house a reality. Homeschooling yourself on loans, color-coding listings, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. If you can ace house hunting, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
Stem is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to load their minds. Dare to explore. Dare to STEM. Learn more at She Can STEM.
COVID-19 has hit our community real hard.
We're dying from coronavirus at almost double the national rate.
If we come together, we have the power to save what matters to us, our Black lives.
There's power in protecting your loved ones.
There's power in wearing a mask and social distancing.
There's power in knowing the facts and using your voice.
Let's fight COVID-19. Visit bethepowerofus.org.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night too. Did you have a clue?
No, but teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
Well, we're back.
So, welcome back. Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to find out. So, what kind of artists do you have on board, and then what kind of artists are you looking for to expand some of the programs you have? And yeah, so let's start there.
Well, I'll start. So typically over the years, we have sort of had a kind of feature on jazz, right? On jazz
Okay.
artists, different types of jazz artists, whether it's improvisational or any other kind. Now, I like jazz, and I say like because that's what it is. I like it. However, I noticed that there's a whole lot of music out there that we just didn't tap into. Hence, we created this new series called Rhythm Section. And what Rhythm Section is, it's a vehicle that presents artists from the diaspora, whether it's an artist that is into Afrobeat, um, uh, reggae, um, Spanish music of any kind, cumbia, um, uh, just music from the diaspora. And I think in general, what is happening is we have brought in a kind of energy that we're not used to seeing. It's the kind of energy that comes from drums, and it's just an amazing revelation to as a kind of addition to what we already have. It's you can feel it. You can feel the energy of this kind of music. I mean, jazz is still in there, but it's wider now. It's broader now. It's global now. And so in terms of bringing an artist to the Sutton Boulevard Festival, we can bring almost anybody now because we're in touch with it. We're in touch with these artists. We're in touch with the reggae artists. We're in touch with the cumbia artists. We're in touch with people who are playing Haitian music, whether it's rah or you can get to it. And I think it's just really exciting. So I'm looking forward to you calling me and say, Courtney, hey, we need some artists for our festival. What can you do? And I can go to one of our guys like Tony Ade and say, Tony, we want you to bring, and these people, they travel with an entourage. So you have on stage, it looks exciting, and the excitement gets transferred to the audience, and they can feel it's a wonderful feeling. So I'm hoping that this is something that we can make happen.
Well,
And
Courtney, I would like for you to make that happen, and I also would like you to make R&B happen because I'm from the old school, so I love those slow jams. And we have a lot of artists that are in Queens that that is looking to come back. When I say come back, they've been, they're from the 70s and the 80s,
Right.
but
Right.
they perform a lot at the casino, okay? But
Yes.
they're looking for other venues wherein, they can perform. And I know it will pack the house.
Well,
And I
when
have contact with all of them. So if you need,
I was going to say, we're looking for some phone numbers and some.
I got them. I have them. They're personal friends of mine. So
Okay.
I'm definitely going to hook you up with that.
Well, when we're finished, I'm going to ask you. Do you can let me know after this is over. Let me know if you know Patty. I'm thinking about Patty with
Patty.
having one of those
Okay.
intimate evenings, just Patty on a stool with acoustic person, somebody behind her, and she's just singing. So we'll talk about that.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. I mean, that's awesome because I know like Queens College, they have a lot of performances. The last time I was there, Gladys Knight was there, and I enjoyed the presentation, the show, and so forth and so forth. And I love that type of music. I love jazz too, very much so. And so I just love music. So I would be at every show that there is, and I will cover it. I will interview all the artists. I mean, that's what I like to do.
You're going to accept our invitation to be our resident journalist, right?
Oh.
Because we We want one of those. And so,
Well, that's me.
It's a
you know,
perfect
if you,
opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a perfect
if
opportunity.
I
Yeah, go ahead, London.
No, I wanted to mention something that's important. It is arguably not as glamorous, but it's important, and I want to just make sure we get this in. We have a pilot program called Building Equity. It is funded by New York Community Trust. It's a 2-year program, and it's in acknowledgement of the fact that we live in a borough where there are 200 languages spoken. We have people living in our borough. They're our friends. They're our neighbors. They're the people you're standing next to on the line at the grocery store. And they have all kinds of cultural backgrounds and references. And the idea behind this program is that previously, and this kind of relates to what Courtney was talking about with Rhythm Section, they did not see themselves represented at JCAL. This program allows us to represent them, actually for them to represent themselves. We have a committee of advisors who come from all kinds of backgrounds, speak all kinds of languages, know all kinds of artists, visual artists, movement, singing, dance and so forth and so on. And so we're bringing them to JCAL, and we're bringing them to JPAC, and we're bringing them online. We did a series of presentations last June when everybody was in quarantine, like you couldn't leave your house. And I think we did 8 or 9 different presentations through this Building Equity program. I will admit to you, it's not Gladys Knight. I get that. But the thing is, JCAL exists for everybody. It's there for the entire community. If you don't see yourself represented, you're not going to go. So the burden or responsibility, also the opportunity, is on us. Like, can we create the space and create the platform for someone who comes out of a part of the world you don't know very much about, speaks a language that you don't speak, who can bring in their work, whatever that may be. We occupy city-owned buildings and land. And it's our responsibility and opportunity to create that space for them, introduce who they are, what they do to all of the audiences. And so it's really exciting for us as well. Now, what we really want is Gladys Knight and that at the same show.
Okay. I think I could arrange that.
That's why I'm saying it, because I know you can.
I know them all very, very well, and like 40-something years of friendship, with quite a few artists, So that's as long as you let me come backstage and interview them for our world, our power.
You do your thing. You do your thing. You're welcome.
Because we're here for the community.
One of the things that I just want to highlight and talk about is that I've been to so many great programs. Greg Mays had done some great work in having kind of a taste testing from different cultures, and then he would have a movie afterwards that we would all watch in the small theater. I've been to so different things. In fact, I went to a book reading. Actually, it was a short film, and it was a Jamaican woman who traced her ancestry back to China. And in fact, her father had gone, not her father, her great grandfather had actually gone back to China, and she retraced the connection and was able to get back in touch. And so there was a whole group of family of Jamaicans that actually went to China to meet their ancestors for the first time. And I thought that was such a powerful demonstration of Queens, being a multicultural and being able to trace your roots. And these were folks that had been displaced probably, I don't know, 20, 40 years or so, didn't know each other, but got to reconnect. and find their family. And she wrote a book, and she did a little documentary, and things like that were just incredible to really experience. I mean, I gotten I felt like I was okay. I need to do something like that for my family tree and go back and explore it and really. It was so engaging, is what
It
I'm
is.
saying.
It
I mean,
was,
it just
Glenn.
yeah.
I was there, and I enjoyed the show. It was tremendous. And my background is Caribbean, so my family's from Jamaica and Saint Kitts. So I know about tracing your family and stuff like that is very important for all cultures. Everybody needs to be in contact with their roots and where they came from, because if you don't know where you came from, you're going to have a problem knowing where you're going. So,
Right.
so I really, that's very important. I agree with both of you gentlemen in enhancing that. That is very important for all cultures. And Queens is a melting pot. So, everybody's here, you know, and we're living right next door to each other, so we need to be involved with our different cultures that we have, music wise, food wise, everything. It's very important. I would like to take this time to let everybody know you're listening to Our World, Our Power, and we can be heard on Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Google Play, and our Roku channel. And please follow us on Facebook and YouTube. It's very important. And you can reach me at 646-340-7271. Let's continue, Glenn.
One of the things that you guys haven't talked about, but you also had office space. You had space for people to come and meet and conduct meetings as well. So let's hear a little bit about that.
Well, we still have some of that. We have a conference space at JPAC, which is fantastic. And I'm sure Courtney will talk about that a bit. It's still there. It's a little lonely. It misses people, but it's still rentable. We have shifted the sort of layout of our office at JCAL a little bit in order to be in compliance with COVID. But we are just starting to rent out some spaces again. I can't say exactly what yet, but we're in a really great conversation with an immigration attorney who is rather prominent, and it'll be exciting to have renters back at JCAL and at JPAC.
Oh, that's nice to know. I mean, that's information the community needs to be aware of, that you will have space that you can rent out and so forth. It's very good. I love it.
Well, I know the bid has rented out the space at JPAC up top, and that I mean, you talk about a nice skybox there, man. That's well, Courtney, tell us a little bit about it, please.
Well, we've always used that particular space to sort of allow early entrepreneurs to sort of come in and wow their guests, right? It's a beautiful space, seats up to 18 persons. It has a big screen, it has a drop down screen, it's air conditioned, it's glass all the way around, well, not all the way around, two corners, but it's a wonderful space. It's accessible by elevator, wonderful, comfortable chairs, and it's just perfect for any kind of business meeting. And we have rented it in the past to bid, and a few other organizations who were fortunate enough to actually know about it. But it is there and it's open, and we're ready to entertain and to allow people to come use it again. So come and
That's
see
one.
me again.
Can
And
see
the
you.
last time I was there for a concert, and it was kind of like the VIP lounge. So you go up and the artist was there when he was taking a break, and you could kind of had some wine and cheese and so forth, and it's just and then you could watch the show from up there. I mean, it was just
Mhm.
uh, very, just a great. I tell you, both spaces are just gems, and I want so many more people to know about it and to really have the experience. You don't have to go into Manhattan to get a class act cultural event right here in downtown Jamaica.
That's right.
Yeah. Go ahead,
That's right.
downtown Jamaica.
No, but it's true, and it's a lot of what is sort of motivating Courtney and me to create all kinds of new programs and rethink the programs that we have. There's so many different ways that we can engage the community and leverage the buildings that we have. It's a real privilege. I mean, it's a lot of work to maintain those two buildings, but it's a real privilege. We have 5 floors at JCAL. We've got that great, I'm glad you call it a skybox, because that's what I always think of. That's about as close as I'm going to get to a skybox anytime soon. Whoever thought of well, actually, I know who thought about it. It was the Queensborough presidents from years past took a look at that church and said, we can convert that to a state-of-the-art performing arts center, and they did. And it's an extraordinary space and one that we work really hard to take care of.
Yeah, I've been there several times and it is very beautiful. I've been to both places. As I said, when my son was young, he went to art class and he really enjoyed, participating and stuff like that. I thought at one time he was going to be an artist, but
What
but
is he now?
he works in culinary. He works at the casino, but he loves cooking. So he's a chef.
That is also an art.
Yeah, it is an art. It is. But I love having him here cooking because I'll say I'm hungry. It's time for breakfast. Oh God.
Well, I think we talked about it, but I just want you guys to kind of say it again. What's your vision? What's your vision? Both of you are interim, and you're looking to take this program to the next level. What? Give us paint a picture for us, please.
All right, I'll do it very quick, and then I'll kick it over to Courtney. JCAL is going to be 50 years old. We have 2 buildings. We have all kinds of incredible programs, and we have a history. The question is, are we going to have a future? The pandemic forced us to confront that question and decide yes. And it's going to be sort of all hands on deck and all the pistons firing. We want to have in-person, we want to have hybrid, we want to have remote, we want to touch on all areas of the arts, all disciplines, and we want to make it open and accessible for the entire community. The community owns it. And so our job is to deliver for the community the kinds of programming that it wants. And frankly, when Lady Pauline says, I want Gladys Knight, it's like my wheels are turning about how we're going to make that happen. That's the kind of stuff that we got. No. I mean, that's a real thing. And listen, I've got no problem bringing Gladys Knight to JPAC.
That would be wonderful. And I got some more people. I got Blue Magic, Double Exposure, Melba Moore, Carol Williams, Sky. I mean, I can go on. Their numbers right there in my fingertips. As a matter of fact, for New Year's Eve, this past New Year's Eve, I did a show with everybody from South Soul Records, and people really enjoyed the show and listening to their music and so forth. It's
Rochelle Fleming there. Rochelle Fleming?
She was not. No. But yeah, but I know who you're talking about.
This year we came this close to getting Roy Ayers.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah, this close to getting Roy Ayers. And by God, we're gonna do it at some point. But
that's going to happen in 2022. That's going to happen in 2022. I mean, basically, we're laying the foundation for the next 50 years right now. How do we be community first, and how do we use these facilities in full? And we're fundraising like crazy, which is interesting in the middle of a pandemic. But there's so much interest in what we're doing because we're focusing on what's called hyper local. What does the community want? How do we go about doing that? So I'm gonna kick it over to Courtney, but that's I'm the money guy to some degree. So it's about, yeah. I mean, when I find it, I'll let you know. But yeah, so we're trying to lay the foundation in terms of the business and in terms of the art, because those two things go together. You don't have one without the other.
That's true. Very true. Now,
And
how can everybody get in
Well,
contact?
let
Okay,
Courtney.
go ahead, Glenn.
Go ahead, Courtney.
well, no, I was thinking that when I first came to JCAL, we were in a situation where we were always sort of fighting or sort of scratching for money in some way, shape, or form. And throughout most of that coming forward, we found ourselves in a sort of a steady a steady place, so to speak. Uh, but in terms of the vision for what should be happening in the institution, what I saw was a kind of a sort of a tendency to replicate what was going on in Manhattan. There was this tendency where it appears as if the institution wanted to have that Manhattan look, that they essentially were looking for a Manhattan audience or an audience coming from Forest Hills or whatever the case might be. Um, my vision isn't that, right? It I think for me at least, I would want to give back or help to create a scenario where we're giving to the community what it wants, in a sense that we don't have to mimic anyone to get validation, right? We don't have to pretend to be any place but where we are. What we can present and the kind of art that we present is good enough. It is not just good enough, it's perfect. And I think, if you're true to who you are, right? We're a community of color, you know. If we're true to who we are, and we are happy about who we are and what we create, then whoever is outside, they can peek their head in to see what's going on, what's happening, sure. But I think to be authentic, in terms of the mixture of people that live within this community, if we're authentic, I think that's just fine. You know what I mean? I think we'll do just fine. And so my vision is to have just streams of plays about, work by Lorraine Hansberry, and um, like we could have the Manhattans for a weekend. You know what I mean? Gerald Austin. I hope he's still singing. So all of these things. Oh, it's poppy. Yeah, yeah, but it's ours. It is something. It's what we like. It is what we're into. The dance. The dance doesn't have to be Buto or some person standing on the stage eating an orange, wearing a diaper. We're not interested in that. That is not what we. You know what I mean? If we're gonna see something, we want to see something that talks about something, that is about something. I mean, it can be entertaining, but there's something under it that makes it what it is. And we don't have to go and ask, well, what's that? We want to know what it's about by seeing it and being able to touch it and that kind, because that's who we are as people. And I think my overall vision is to have that. It's almost a philosophy of Ubuntu, right? The philosophy is, I am because we are, right? I am because we are. And when you're able to when you can create that kind of community, then it's easier for people to come in, like we say, and say, hey, I have this idea. This is what I want to create. This is the music that is happening right now. This is the artwork that I would like to paint. So I'm not feeling as if we're some untouchable place that you can't walk into. You should be able to walk in and say, I have a place where I can create, where I can flourish, and we can flourish as a community. And that's my vision, to have access, have that sort of accessibility to the community that allows us to show that we don't need to bring anything in per se in order to be valid. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
where I am about.
Well, we're
Okay.
gonna make this happen. Me and Glenn are gonna make it happen. Uh, that's what we're about. Now, how can the public reach you guys?
www.jcal.org is our website. My email address is leonard@jcal.org. You can also call 718-658-7400 and find me. And people do. And Courtney's email and phone numbers are?
So it's Courtney French, but it's French for two F's, CFFRENCH @jcal.org. And same phone number, 718-658-7400, extension 303 for me.
All right, that's great. Now, Glenn, how can people reach you, my partner in
They
crime?
they can reach me at Sutphen Boulevard, Business Improvement District, 718-291-2110.
All right. Well,
And
it's
where
been a
can they reach you, Lady Pauline?
they can reach me on Facebook. They can reach me on Instagram. And again, you can reach me at 646-340-7271. Or if you need to email me, psourworldmedia@gmail.com. All right. And I want to say thank you both for coming on to our power. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to helping you with this entertainment piece. Okay.
It's going to happen. It's going to
Oh,
happen. It's going to
okay. All right. I'm a very persistent young lady.
All right.
Okay. All
Well,
right,
thanks again.
audience.
Thanks again. It's great to know that we've got some partners, some cultural partners right here in our backyard in downtown Jamaica. And we're looking to have more participation and more people knowing about all the great stuff that's happening right here locally. Thank you guys for being on the show and really giving us a sense of what's going on and really a feel for what your visions are. And I commend you for the work that you've done and you continue to do to bring just beautiful art to our community and culture.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
You've been
Thank
listening
you.
to Our World, Our Power, where your news reflects you and your community. Catch you all next week, same time, same place. Take care.